Hello, all of you. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Learn with Pam. So, in the previous video, we had started with the plsql. So, we had covered with the basic block that was anonymous block, that is the block which is having no name. So, in the previous video, we have covered with the select into clause. We have we have learned in detail about variables like begin blocks, declared block, end block. So please do watch our previous video for better understanding, and then you can watch this video, that is variable attributes. So in this video we'll see what are the variable attributes, how the things will get easy when you are using this variable attributes, how we can fetch a multiple data by using simple code. So the attributes which are used are column level attributes and row level attributes. So basically, the variable attributes are used in a place of data types in variable or placeholder parameter declaration in plsql block. So these attributes we are using in the data types only. So when we are defining or when you are declaring the data types, so in that case, in this video we will see how the variable attributes are used during the declaration of the data types. So basically there are two different types, column level and row level attributes. So first we will learn about column level attribute. So what is column level attribute? So it is represented by percentage type. So let's see how we are using this percentage type during the declaration of the variable. So this attribute is defined for individual column. So when a particular column we are selecting, when you are declaring a variable for a particular column, that might be employee name, or that might be a salary column, or there might be a column of employee number or department name. So this attribute is applied for a single column, for a particular column or individual column. Then syntax, you can see how this declaration of attribute is done. So first we have to write the variable name, then table name dot column name percentage type. So let us take a simple example. So if I want to apply this attribute for employee number column, so the variable name I am taking as v underscore employee number for better understanding, for improving the readability. So v underscore employee number will be the variable applied for the employee number. So before that, we have to write the table name, that is EMP1 table. So our is EMP1 table dot employee number. So this is our column name. This is our table name. So table name dot employee number, that is column name and percentage. So this is the column level attribute. So why this column level attribute is used? So let us see the practical scenario. So why there is a need for using this attribute, that is percentage type. So let us see the description or the table EMP1. So what are all the columns? So you can see these are the columns. So name of the columns here has been written. So employee number column we have ename, job and MGR. So likewise the different columns are there. So let us focus on ename. So on ename we have data type as varchar2 and size is 10. So the size of 10 string or value will be stored in the ename only. So now while table creation we have described, or we have taken ename size as 10, so whose varchar size is 10 during the table creation. But what happens is, after 1 year, or at a particular period of time, my business logic got changed and the size was increased by 50. So this size was increased by 50. So again there might be a chances that some of the employee had joined whose name is too long, or the size of employee is not fitting into this size 10, so I need to increase the size by 50. So this would be a change in the business logic. So what I'm doing is I'm altering the table emp1 table and modifying this particular uh, data type, increasing the size of data type by 50. So let us run this query and let us increase the size. So I'm increasing the size as 50. Okay, so table is altered. So let us check once again the size. Yes, now you will see here that the size has been changed to 50. So we have changed the size. Now let us see overall the data from the emp1 table. So this is the data from emp1 table. So now let's work on this particular employee number, that is zero employee number. What I'm doing is So I'm updating this employee number, or I'm updating the data of employee number 0. So what I'm doing is I am updating this table, that is EMP1 table, set ename. So I am setting the ename of employee number employee whose number is 0 as Pramod Sutar. So I'm writing my name over here. So where there is a clerk, I'm writing as Pramod Sutar. So you can see the size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So it is of 12 size. So again, if I was using the previous old table, this size was not, this would not fit into that particular column because the size was 10. And now I am adding the size of 12. So again, as I have increased the size. Now I am able to modify the column. So let us run this query and let us update the table. So I am updating the table. So one row is updated. So let us see the data. Select star from EMP1. Yes, now you will see at the 0th employee number, the name has been replaced by the Pramod Sutta. So this is how I have updated the particular column. Now let's write a block of code. Let's write a block of code. So I'm writing, okay. So I'm writing the block of code. So what I'm doing is I'm declaring the variable section. So v underscore ename var2 whose size is 10. Now I'm taking the size, old size, that was 10. So if now see here, when you are defining the table, during the table, after creation of the table, this block would be created. After creation of the table, so this block would be an old block. But after modifying the table, after I am increasing, after the size, increased the size of column, that is ename, the block code will remain as it is. So this was the old block which I declared, or which I prepared during the or after the creation of the table. So after some years, my business logic got changed, and the column ename has been changed, or the size of ename column was changed to 50. But in this block, it is the old size, that is 10 size. So let's try to execute this block. What error it would show. So what I'm doing is I'm taking block of, or I'm writing the block such that the size, variable size, that is v underscore ename size is same. So ename size I'm keeping as it is. Begin block, or in the begin section, select ename into v underscore ename. In this variable I'm storing employee whose employee number is 0 from EMP1 where employee number is 0. So in the previous case, it was clerk whose size was less than 10. So it was able to fetch. Now in this case, we have changed the business logic and we have increased the size by 50. But in this block of code, the size is as it is, old size I am keeping. If I run this query, it will not show an output. So let us run this query. If I run this block, it will show that change the data, how it is manipulated or how it is declared, so that the values do not violate the constraint. So this error would be shown. For example, you can see, let me highlight, or let me maximize the window. So this is the error. So what the error is? plsql numeric or value error, character string buffer too small. As the previous, before changing the logic, the size was 10, and after changing logic, the size was increased by 50. But in the block, I have used the old size. That's why it is showing that string buffer too small to fetch the desired value. So this is a business logic, or this is a problem which might be a practical problem. To solve this problem, the term has been introduced, that is variable attributes. So solve such type of problem, the variable attributes, that is column level attribute we are using. So let's see how it is implemented. So again, this problem can be solved by using percentage type. So let's see how it can be solved, this problem. So what I'm doing, I'm making a slide change. I'm making a slide change in the above code, that during the declaration, I'm declaring variable as percentage type. So v underscore ename emp1 dot ename, that is table name, dot ename, that is column name, percentage type. So instead of defining the varchar and size, I'm using this percentage type. And begin section, rest of the code is same as it is. And I'm printing the v underscore ename, that is value of employee name. So what this attribute does, so v underscore ename, so in this variable, I can store any size. During runtime, it avoids to maintain a fixed size. So when I'm using this percentage attribute, what it does is it will avoid to maintain the data type and its fixed size. So when I am using this percentage type, I can fetch any size value. So variable size, if at the runtime or during the business, if the business logic gets changed, if the data type of a particular column gets changed, then if I am using this percentage type attribute, I can fetch any value of any size. So this is how the practical implementation or practical scenario is. So if I use percentage type here, it can fetch any size value. So if I run this code, you will see the output as the record which was updated afterwards. That is Pramod Suta. So I hope this part is pretty much clear. So we have covered about the percentage type. So let's take one more example using this percentage type attribute. So write a plsql program for user entered employee number, display the name of employee and salary from AMP table using percentage type. So percentage type again we are using. So before running any block of code or when you are logging into the system, you have to run this code. You have to run this command, that is set server output on, so that you will get the output. So we are working on the AMP1 table. So this is our AMP1 table. So as per requirement in the question, they have asked us to fetch employee name and employee sal from the AMP1 table, and the entered employee number will be entered by the user. Right. So again, this code is same as we discussed in the previous video. In the previous video, we have seen this same block of code by using alternate by using the variable a declaration variable by the traditional method. So in this method, we are using the next new concept, that is percentage type. So declaration section, I am using ename. Percentage type, I am using this percentage type attribute again for sal also, which is of number type. So emp1, that is table name, dot sal, that is column name. Percentage type, I am using attribute, that is percentage type. Next, begin block, select ename sal into. So store these values into the variables v underscore ename and v underscore sal from emp1, where emp number is equal to and number, means the user will enter the number, employee number. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. So ename, so ename will be printed concatenated and salary dash and sal, v underscore sal. So this will show us output like name and sal of the employee which user has entered. So let's take again work on this particular employee, that is employee number 0, which we done updation in the previous case. So let us try to run this block of code. If I enter the 0 block, if I enter the employee number 0, it will show the name as Pramod Sutta, and it will show the sal as 20,000, and this much will be the output. So let me run this block. So I will start from the declare section. So when you are running the block of code, you have to select the declare section also. So if I run this declare section, now it will ask us to enter the employee number. So I am entering the 0. If I enter the 0, you will see the output as ename, the name of employee, salary 20,000, and plsql stored procedure. Sorry, procedure successfully completed. So this is regarding the first attribute, that is column level attribute. So I hope you have got the concept of column level attribute. So next attribute is row level attribute. So what is this row level attribute? So again, it is written by percentage row type. So in the previous case, we were writing percentage type. Now when you are using row level attribute, we will write percentage row type. So let's start with this concept. So in this, a single variable represents all different data types in an entire row in a table. So in the previous case, or in the previous part, we had discussed how we are declaring a variable for each column. So to avoid declaring n number of columns, suppose I want to fetch the data of 20, 30 or 50 columns. So again, it is a tedious task to declare each and every column. So instead of declaring each and every column, there is one new concept introduced, that is called as row level attribute. So in row level attribute, I can declare an entire row of different data types in a single variable. I repeat, in row level attribute, that is percentage row type, I can declare all different data types or entire row of table which might be consist of 100 columns in a single variable. So let's see how it works. So again, also it is called as record type variable. So syntax is variable name, table name, and percentage row type. So like I can see here, I have taken example. So a variable name I have taken as emp percentage row type. Next, write a plsql block. Let's take an example, simple example. Write a plsql program for user entered employee number, display name of employee, salary, hire date from emp table. So we will be displaying employee name, then salary, hire date. So in declare section, I have declared this particular attribute, that is percentage row type. So I have taken a variable as I. So emp1 is a table name, percentage row type. In this single variable, I can store all the columns. So let's see how it works. So in declare section, I have declared a single variable, that is emp1 percentage row type. Then in begin section, I am writing a single normal query. So select ename sal hire date, the data which I am supposed to get as output, into I dot. So see the syntax to store a data into this variable. So I is a declaration, I is a variable. So I dot ename. So I want to store this ename into I dot ename, comma sal I dot sal, comma I dot hire date. So these are the multiple variables into which I can store multiple different data types data. Different, so ename is having different data types, sal is having different data type, hire it again it is having different data types. So all these different data type values can be stored in a single variable, that is I variable. So I dot ename, simply you can write I dot ename, I dot sal, I dot hire it from emp1, where employee number is equal to and number. So the user will enter the employee number and he will get all the data of the this particular employee. So again I'm printing dbms underscore output. So the name is equal to, so this is a single quote, I can write this particular as it is, it will be printed on the console. Concatenate I dot ename. Again, sal, the value of sal will be printed as I dot sal. Whatever salary I am fetching into this variable, this salary as it is, it will be printed. Concatenate hire date. Again, the hire date value will be printed over here. So let's try to run this code. So if I run this code, you will see the output. It will first ask us to enter the employee number. So again, I will enter 0. So we'll see the output. So name is Pramod Sutta. Then salary is 20,000. Hire date is 1st of Feb 00, means it is of 2000. So year is 2000. So I hope this part is pretty much clear regarding the column level attributes and row level attributes. So in this video we have covered regarding the row level attributes and column level attributes in detail with different examples. So that's all for this video. So in the next video, we will cover about the loops concept or conditional statements that will be associated with the previous videos, or the different queries we'll try to execute by using the control statements, or we can say the loops. So that's all for this. So I request you to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates regarding the plsql and SQL videos. So thank you all of you and have a wonderful day ahead.